Maggie to the rescue!
Hey everybody, happy springtime. Maggie's here having fun inside of this antique Easter egg. Thank you, Maggie. You can have a seat over here. So I'm going to do one of my favorite projects today, which is making a presentation egg for a little antique bisque doll. I also love making presentation boxes. And if you want to do this at home, you don't even have to find the old ones or antique ones. You can actually just get one from Michael's or wherever and cover it in paper if you prefer. And you can even use these more modern little chenille chicks instead of the older ones. And like these older ones that I have, I don't even think they're probably even the correct time period. So, I sort of mix it up. I just want it to be cute. I'm not too worried about it being authentic because I'm not trying to pretend it is an antique, but it is based on the antique originals. But aren't they cute? I love those. So same with the little flowers I'm going to use. Beautiful little paper flowers as opposed to turn of the century. I do have some older flowers. One really good source is millinery flowers. Let me see if I can grab one. So this is a beautiful little flower from a hat. Maybe I'll use that. It's a little bit bright. I want to stay with a very sort of muted palette today, but maybe I'll use that one. So that's something to keep in mind too. If you find an old hat with the beautiful little velvet flowers, that's something really great to use. So the first thing I'm going to do, well, first I'm going to show you the little doll. Isn't she adorable? So she's got the beautiful little braided hair. I put the ribbons in, and she's marked on the back, so I believe she's German. And she's got a cute butt, and she has the molded feet and socks and the movable arms. Precious little face, rosy cheeks, blue eyes. I actually love her little naked body, but I'm going to put a dress on her. And I found this little dress, which is obviously more contemporary, but I am going to tea dye it, which just means to heat up a little black tea and dip it in there and see if I can make it a little bit older looking. It's a little dark, so I'm going to do this pretty quickly. I might have to go wash it out if it's a little too dark. Let me get my hemostats just to be able to put it in and pick it up. Yeah, so it basically dyed it immediately. So I'm just going to put it down here and pat it off. That was very quick. See, it immediately took away that bright white look. So I'm going to go rinse this off and let it dry. Well, that turned out great. That's just the perfect color. So I'm going to get her dressed. I love that it has little sort of puffed sleeves. Well, this looks great. It really couldn't have turned out better. And this is a little bow that I've made for the top of her hair. I'll talk about that in a minute. So what you want to do if you're doing this at home is to draw a pattern around this on a piece of cardboard and then cut it smaller so it fits down in the egg. And by the way, if you hear something funny right now, can you hear it? Maybe you can't, but my neighbor has chickens. I live in the city, but he has a chicken coop, so I get to hear them cluck all day long. It's kind of cute. I'm going to use what is similar to this. I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to use yet, but I'm going to use some gold foil edging. I don't think this one's going to bend at the top for me, so I'll probably have to use this one. And you might want to turn the egg this way. For some reason, I want it the smaller part at her head, but you could do it either way. And I have a little basket for her. I already put ribbons on a couple of flowers. little blue bunch, and where is my other one? And a little pink bunch, which is probably right in front of me. Here it is. And I just added little silk ribbons. Like I said before in other videos, I collect silk ribbon, little ribbons. And that's what I used for her braids as well. So I'm gonna have to figure out the placement of the items first, especially her, if I want her to the side and the little objects on one side of her, or if I want her in the middle, because I'm going to have to punch holes in this and string her down, and then I'll glue it into here. So that's something to keep in mind. Oh, and this is another little element which I just thought it was so cute. It looks like a little spool. And I have these old silk threads that I can't use because they're so fragile, they break. So I just thought I would look at the colors that I end up with, and then maybe I will wrap a bunch around this little spool and use it as an element as well. Okay, so I am just going to start figuring out placement. I'm gonna do it in the egg because that informs me a little bit more. Okay, so did I already mention this? So I made a big bow for her, big silk bow. And one thing about bows from this time period, they weren't typically tied like this. They were more like this, where they were gathered in the middle. So I just thought for the big bow for the top of her head, that was better. So I just used thread around it. Her head is hollow, but I don't, well, looks like it's working. There we go. Cute. I love those big bows. I think I like her in the middle. So where do I want the little chick? I've never actually had an antique presentation box or eggs, so I think that's one reason I'm so obsessed with making them myself. It's like making my own little dream come true. So this needs to be trimmed. See, this is made in Korea, so these are, I don't know, maybe from the I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But I know like little Madame Alexander dolls and Jenny dolls had these kinds of flowers. So I'm thinking 50s, 60s, 70s, something like that. And so they come all the way down here with a wire. So when you take them off, they have this long wire. So I've just wrapped it a little bit around the stem, and I'm going to cut that. Same with this one. For some reason, I really want the chick by her head. I like the blue towards her face, I think. I'll try the pink, see. Maybe I like the pink better. Blue down here. And then she'll have her little basket. I think I'm going to choose this color green to go around the spool. I like this too, though. Maybe I'll do this. I'm going to glue the felt to the cardboard. Then I'm just going to make a little mark in the felt and here. And then what I do to punch holes for something like this is I just take an awl and a sponge, and then I just punch the hole. I don't know why that one was up so much further than the other one. Let me see. I really should do them evenly. I think the higher one is better. So now I'm just going to take this elastic thread. It's like a very, very fine elastic cord. Somebody's sawing outside. Apologies. Very, very noisy day here. I've actually had to stop the video a few times because of it. So at some point you gotta just keep going. I'm just gonna do this and then slide her in. It's good to use the elastic because then you can kind of like adjust if needed later. She's pretty heavy, so I'm gonna have to pull this tight. We'll see if I need to do anything around her legs. I might have to. Let's see if she falls down. It's pretty good. She's a little wobbly this way though. I think I will do it around her legs as well, just to stabilize her. It's just one side of the egg. A lot of times I do these presentation eggs with both sides, but this is the only side I have of this egg. So I thought I'd show you all how I make a presentation egg with just using one side. All right, now she's nice and stable. So now what I need to do is actually add the gold trim first before I attach this. I decided to stabilize the cardboard just a little bit more, so I'm just going to glue it down and cut out one more piece of cardboard. So the second layer of cardboard dried, and I glued a little bit of a sponge down, and I'm going to put glue all around the edge and then put it down. I put glue around the edge. Got to be a little bit careful. Well, wasn't that careful. Okay, so I have glue on my fingers, so I need to wipe that off first. Okay. Some of the edge is touching, some isn't. So hopefully the sponge will help to stabilize it. The glue is starting to dry, So I'm going to add the other elements and get ready for the big reveal. Maggie's in her Sunday finest. So I'm thrilled. I think it came out really sweetly. So I added a few things that I'll show you. The bow's a little wonky. So I added a little bit of German die-cut scrap paper up above her bow. I thought that would balance things nicely, as well as I did choose to put the little velvet flower. And I found this sweet little basket, so I put it on her arm, and I put the other little basket I had on the presentation piece. And I found this little spotted egg. I thought that was a cute little addition. Oh, and I added this gold around the edge, just as a nice finishing touch. So let's look at some photos. This is one of my favorite ways to display a presentation piece, which is with a larger doll. I just think that's so precious. And I hope you enjoyed today. I hope it was relaxing and hopefully you learned something. And I just want to thank everybody again for all of you who have liked and subscribed to Maggie to the Rescue. It really means a lot and it helps me to keep going. And if you haven't, please join us. I have a lot more restorations, show and tells, and projects like this to come. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Like and subscribe. Thank you.